So let's jump right in with our first contestant. So he has been a perennial closer this season, but they actually took him and put him on the top.
Yes.
And that would be John Legend's Renzo.
Yes.
And, you know, I said, if Renzo sings, I want to hear some black rocker music. I want to hear Living Color. I want to hear Lenny Kravitz. And what do we get? We got Fly Away.
Yes.
By Lenny Kravitz. And I said, Renzo's going to rip this one because it's like right in his wheelhouse. It's a perfect song for his voice, perfect amount of holler, perfect amount of sing. And I said, it's a perfect song to win the competition with. I said, it was a nice opening with acoustic. Now, Stephanie, you got to tell me, were my ears deceiving me or did he miss a few strums on the guitar?
No, here's what was happening. He was not strumming as you would predict him to strum. He was almost strumming, and I'm not a musician enough to tell you, but I caught on later. It wasn't the bass line, but it wasn't the melody. It was something in between.
Okay.
So it sounded unusual, and it made me really listen to what he was doing. He just wasn't doing what you would typically expect for an acoustic guitarist to do, but what he was doing was at least in line and consistent all the way through that acoustic opening part.
Okay. Well, that helps me out because I figure if it's just you and your acoustic guitar, you know, you're going to play the typical line. Mm-hmm. That's why it sounded a little off to me because I was like, well, what are you playing? But if that's what it is, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And that's just Renzo being the innovative person that he is, which I have to appreciate. Mm-hmm. I love the way that Renzo, I was like, what is it about Renzo's voice that I do like? I love the way Renzo ends his phrases. Especially on this song. Did you hear it was like flipping his voice? Yeah. He's like, I want to get away. Like, he put that kind of yodel in his voice a little bit today. Mm-hmm. And I love that he did that. I want to fly away. Like, I love that what he did with this song.
Yeah.
What I did not like about this song had nothing to do with them. I thought it was a very strange arrangement. I thought it was build big, pull it back. Build big, pull it back. And I didn't like that about this song. And maybe it was also the whole cage thing was a little distracting for me too, like the set. Uh-huh. It was kind of a weird arrangement for me. It was very back and forth. I said, but Renzo's energy stayed constant the entire way. Like he built the correct way. I just don't feel like the arrangement of the song was building the correct way. I just thought he was more constant, which was good. This was a really good start, but for me, it was a weird arrangement of the song.
I differ in that opinion only because for an artist as talented as Renzo, I don't want to hear a karaoke rendition of this song. So there's one of two things that you can do. You can try to do something vocally that is way outside of how the song is sung and thus takes us out of the song a bit when you're not just kind of singing it as the original artist sang it. Or number two, you can play with the arrangement. You can sing the song kind of as is, but you can play with the textures of the song in that arrangement. So with him starting acoustically, I was like, ooh, interesting. We're going to get to the big part because you have to, especially if this is your up-tempo number. So this is interesting that he's starting like this. And I too was kind of thrown off with what he was playing, but as I just explained, I got to understand. So when I go back and listen to this, it'll be cool for me to hear it again. already anticipating what that part is going to sound like and not be a little distracted about what is he playing. So then you get into the big stuffs, and it was just everything, like band wise, the bass was all in, the drums was all in, the guitar was all in. I actually liked the breakdown because it didn't stay broken down, it built back up. So it felt like a full story of a performance to me. But as you said, the vocal never wavered in intensity.
Correct.
And kudos to Renzo because he sang this song down. And it's very easy to get very screamy or very hollery in this song. And he sang it down. And I want y'all to understand how hard it is for anybody to sing this song perfectly on pitch, give us a little screamology. It was PhD rock showmanship, vocally and performance wise, in my opinion. I don't think he could have sang. He could not have sang this song any better. And it's so difficult to do that in a live situation. And having it in my good ears, I was like, oh my God, this is so good because he's giving you everything that you want to hear from this song. And it's live. Like it sounded vocally just as good as the original, which is a stunningly hard thing to do. So I wrote after that performance, I was like, he won. Because not only did he give us an up-tempo that we know, and he executed, I was like, now, I'm with you with the cage. I saw the cage and I was like, but here's the thing. The thing that I was glad about the cage is that women, I did not see, and maybe they were there. I saw women inside of the cage. I did not see women climbing the cage. The only people that I saw climbing the cage were the dudes. And I was like, okay, we giving ninja, we giving, hard, whatever we're giving.
Like
So
grunge pit? I don't know what it was.
So I was happy that after I saw the cage, what I anticipated from the cage was kind of toned down as the performance went on.
Yeah,
so
the opening cage scene was a little wild, but then they just were there.
They toned it down. So it was,
yeah,
it was like they were like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on a cage kind of thing, and then they toned it down. So I was like, okay, this is fine. But I loved it. I thought it was an incredible show opener, and I've been wanting to hear this song for years on this show. And Renzo was the one to do it, and he executed it incredibly.
I thought it was a very, very excellent execution. Because I know what Renzo is capable of vocally, I'm so like specific with him. Like I'll take it a step further. I was like, okay, to me, this was safe. Fly Away was safe for him for Lenny Kravitz.
No,
I needed a Are You Gonna Go My Way from him.
Oh,
like
I hear what you're saying. Okay,
because like I wanted like more holler because.
Okay, but let me ask an honest question. Do you really want to just hear holler, or do you want to hear vocal? I want to hear vocal on this show. This is not a scream show. I want to hear vocal.
Because he's singing 2 songs and that was his up tempo, I wanted more holler on the up tempo, and then we'll talk about his ballad a little bit later. Because I know what Renzo can do vocally. I knew he was going to give us his singy song on his ballad. And that's just me being so selfish. That's just me being selfish. I wanted to Are You Gonna Go My Way? I thought this was easy for him. Like I thought this was like so good. It's like it was so in his wheelhouse. Because this is one of Kravitz's hardest songs to do well and to not sound like an imitation, because this is often imitated.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
But no one can do Are You Gonna Go My Way? That's except for someone like Renzo. That's why I wanted that.
I hear what you're saying.
Me being selfish.
I hear what you're saying. I get it. I understand. I understand.
All right.